Will spending less time editing make you more profit? Yes, absolutely it can. I'm going to show you the most efficient way to edit your video so you can maximize business profits and still ensure you have the most watchable content possible. You will spend way less time in editing purgatory. So yeah, you really will with this. After editing thousands of pieces of content for myself and clients, I've noticed a massive shift in the content landscape, and businesses have the most to gain from it. The ancient way of doing business was very active. Lots of stock footage, B-roll, cuts, sound effects, and pattern interrupts every 6 to 12 seconds. This is referred to as retention editing. What technically was happening was we are attempting to distract the viewer and hopefully trick them into watching our video for longer. This always made my head spin because I've never seen a blockbuster movie do it. So then it came to me. How about we do this? Remove everything that doesn't add to the value of the video or the viewing experience. Interestingly enough, YouTube isn't the only platform that's seen a major shift. With the rise of AI and all the various tools, what was once very difficult and complex to create is now the standard and completely normalized. Moving the creator further from what matters. Quality of content is king. No amount of effects or pattern interrupts can overcome poor quality content. Which leads us into my 4-part process. Step number 1, get your A-roll or speaking video into the Adobe Premiere timeline. I personally use Adobe Premiere, but you can use any other type of editing software you choose. The second part of this is remove all the mistakes, pauses, and stutters. And to be perfectly open, I have an embarrassing amount of mistakes in a 10-minute YouTube video. Heck, I even have a lot of mistakes in a 60-second short-form piece of content. On to step 2. This one is super important. It's probably a bit premature to hold your scripting masterclass, but this one thing will absolutely tank your watchability. It's also the one thing that drives your viewers away from your content. I'm going to show you how to correct it, but go ahead and check out this example next and see if you can catch the mistake. There I was in bed, hitting the snooze button repeatedly like a kid trying to avoid church on Sunday. And on that 9th snooze attempt, my mother burst into the room. Because of this, I couldn't get dressed in time for church. Now, Mom was having a bad day. She was behind at work, her favorite dress is dirty, and now her entire day is thrown off because it didn't start the way she had intended it. If you want to get to church on time, forget that snooze button. When the alarm goes off, go ahead and get out of bed on time and get ready for church. It's the only way to get there on time. Crazy, right? Let's take a look at this script. We ask, what needs to be removed to be clear and concise? And a very common mistake is people script a YouTube video like they're writing a novel. With YouTube, there's no need to be so wordy. So be surgical with your editing. Remove anything that doesn't add to the story. That won't hurt the rest of your video. You maintain high value and the viewer will reward you with hours of faithful watching. Trust Leche. That's step number 3. I'm bilingual, Leroy. There's a difference. This one thing has got me nauseated. When editing a video, we used to use jump cuts, and a whole lot of them. Jump cuts are the sharp zoom in or zoom out in a video. It's another pattern interrupt and a very popular way to retention hack the audience. But it's entirely unnecessary. Unless we're trying to emphasize a very specific part of the statement, we should use it extremely sparingly. So at the beginning or the end of a sentence you want to emphasize would be the only time that I would want to use a jump cut. I had my editor add in some jump cuts. I requested them to do it sparingly. She put in nearly 1,000 jump cuts. You understand how ridiculous that looks when you watch a video and review at 1.5 to 2x speed, jumping in and jumping out? Oh my goodness. It was massively distracting. Now when I look back at it, I can't even imagine why anybody would want to edit a video that way. Less is more. And if you like how we've made video editing far more efficient so far, don't get too excited until you finish the next section. Okay, stepmom number 4 is all about keeping things simple. What is the most effective way to relay information and accentuate a point, but edit it fast? Ready for it? On-screen text. And I asked myself, what's the most watchable but fastest to edit? Mind you, I was able to edit this video personally in under 3 hours. Almost no back and forth with my editor. It's so effective, it's all I'll use. Because I've spent an obnoxious amount of time editing just one video. Days and days, actually. What consumed most of my time was searching for B-roll, graphics, effects, and creatives to relay verbal information visually. Countless rounds of editing and revisions trying to get it right. At volume, creativity kills production. So we found a solution that's repeatable. The first stylization is a step-by-step graph that pops up, each step highlighting. My editor can crank one of these out in about 5 to 10 minutes. The second stylization is a split screen with text. This happens in Adobe Premiere with a preset. We simply apply that preset to the clip we want to animate and then add in some text. Boom, simple. When I say this effect is easy, it's done in seconds. This is basically like a PowerPoint on gear, but way more interesting. On to the third stylization. This one reminds me a lot of a Loom video or a Zoom. We can do the same thing in the edit. We can retain the PowerPoint presentation stylization with text on screen and also mix it with the Loom style video with my angry mug down in the corner. To me, if you were paying attention, it sounds a lot like best of both worlds. It's also far more entertaining than someone just doing a voiceover with a PowerPoint on screen. This keeps the audience engaged with the speaker. You can see my facial expressions and body language. And let's face it, people are pretty visual. We naturally connect visually, and this is absolutely about maintaining that connection. Relaying information effectively so they continue watching. Now, these aren't hard, fast rules. If we need the space, we can remove the box down in the right and go full screen. But I think you would agree that box down in the right gives the same information a completely different feel. Ultimately, we don't want a lot of text on screen, because if you wanted a lot of text on screen, you would just go read a book anyways. We've all seen the old retention hacks before. This is the new way to do it without losing all respect for oneself. The next step is really the Trimbolone sandwich of scaling your editing. Not sure many people are going to understand that reference. This one is your Dune 2 moment. The thing that prints, the thing that's going to make you stand out amongst everybody else in your niche. How do you show them while telling them? Understand this, the majority of time spent editing is either building creatives from scratch or hunting down the right ones that fit. As a creator, how do I turn my words from something verbal over to something graphical without taking forever to build it from scratch or go out and find it? We simply just walk them through it step by step on screen, giving the user a progression visually and a reminder where we have been and where we're going to end up. So often the viewer's sitting there and wondering, how much more of this do I have left? And how far have we come right now? Now, each step they can see and they know exactly where they've been and they know what's coming up next. We want the information to be visually simplistic. The steps to solve the viewer's problem so they can go out and apply it and get results immediately. I always ask myself, would they pay for this information? And can they get results now if they go out and apply it? Like all systems, you have to see what works for your brand and tone and your audience. And let's face it, what's going to work for Tony Robbins isn't going to work for a Marine veteran like me with head tattoos or resonate with my audience. And that's the fun part, applying a unique spin to build trust and rapport with your audience. So when they buy big. How do you figure out how to build trust fast? Watch this video right here where I break down the infinite loop system, where I show you how to build trust and rapport blitzkrieg fast.